Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 5, Episode 2 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking in everything surrounding sports. This week, we are in to Week 2 of the NFL, Week 3 of the college football world, a little talk in the golf world, little college hockey, some deals in the NHL, our power rankings in the MLB, and all our picks across Week 2 of the NFL, like I said. But without further ado, let's jump in and introduce my co-host here with me this week, Huff. We have Ace and Haas joining us later, but Huff, what do you got for us here going into Week 2?
Yeah, obviously, we're the only ones on the podcast, whole group that can say their team got a win starting the season 1-0. I'll be sure to remind Haas and Ace about that as well. So, coming from Ravens and Patriots, two teams that were hoping for wins in Week 1. Steelers pull out a shootout in Week 1. It was great to see that. Start the season off on the right foot. Rodgers with 4 touchdowns, but we'll get into the NFL in a little bit. But it's always a good week in Pittsburgh coming off a Steelers win, especially to start the season 1-0. Home opener this weekend will be there as well, so can't wait for that. We got a big weekend ahead, and looking forward to it.
Heck yeah, it's going to be a solid week here with Week 2. Can't not wait to be in Acrisure Stadium on Sunday for the Steelers and the Seahawks. But first, let's start out with some college football as we head into Week 3 here, looking at the top 10, the new top 10 for this week, heading into Week 3. I need to pull that up. I totally forgot. All right, coming in at number 10, we have Florida State. Number 9, Illinois. Number 8, Notre Dame. Number 7, Texas. Number 6, Georgia. Number 5, Miami. Number 4, Oregon. Number 3, LSU. Number 2, Penn State. And number 1, Ohio State. Huff, what are we thinking here going into Week 3 of the college football season?
Yeah, there wasn't many great games last week. There was a couple on the slate. We saw Mississippi State take down Arizona State as a 6.5-point dog. We had that one on the card. Not our best week on the card. I kind of expected a little bit of a bounce back. That usually happens in a week where most of these big dogs are playing little schools, but we capitalized on Mississippi State there. That was a good one. But in this top 10, obviously, you still have Ohio State as your one. Penn State, your Nittany Lions there. They have another cakewalk this weekend with Villanova. Their first big game coming next week when they host Oregon. So 4 versus 2 if it stays the way it is. Which most likely it will, unless Oregon maybe slides up a spot or Ohio State somehow slips up. I don't see that against Ohio, but yeah, it's looking like a top 5 matchup next weekend up in Happy Valley for your Nittany Lions. LSU, I think obviously everyone thinks they're national title contenders. You move down the list to Miami at 5. They have a great matchup this weekend against a very hot USF team who's now 2-0, 2 wins in the top 25. So that's going to be a good one this Saturday. I believe that game is in Miami, so a little bit of a home field advantage there for the top 5 favorite Hurricanes. But Georgia, Texas gets back against San Jose State. That was a 36.5-point spread. People were saying Arch Manning still didn't look that good. I think it's going to take some time with him under center. Not necessarily time that they're going to slip up a couple games. I still think they're going to be winning games. They dropped that first one, Ohio State. A tough spot, obviously, for your first start as a starting quarterback at Texas on the road in the shoe at Ohio, or in Ohio Stadium. But then obviously Notre Dame. I don't think they played this week, which is weird. Illinois, they're obviously kind of a Big Ten underdog this year. They seem kind of like that Indiana team last year. And then Florida State, I forget who they played this week. I didn't think it was anyone notable. East Texas A&M. Surprisingly, Florida State won that game 77-3. And then South Carolina right outside of that as well, 2-0. So still have Lenore Sellers win the Heisman. Going to say it every week. I don't think he did anything crazy this week, so not a great week for that. But solid top 10 this week. The fun one right now is USF. If they somehow beat Miami, they'd have 3 top 25 wins in 3 weeks.
That'd be so nice, so cool. Definitely rooting for that. Not sure if this Miami team's anything special. Are they?
I mean, back they're ranked up there for a reason. They beat Notre Dame week 1. I could see that. It's going to be a tall task for them, I think.
All right, not too shabby.
In Miami too. Not that it's much of a road trip. USF, I don't even know where that is. It's probably in Tampa.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so
not too bad.
Not much of a road trip, but
right. Alrighty, here. Let's go through some of these week 3 games here, starting out with number 6, Georgia, heading to number 15, Tennessee. Georgia's the favorite here, 3.5 points of them, total at 49.5. Huff, any thoughts on this matchup here?
Yeah, this is going to be a great one. I think this is where college game day's at on Saturday. The Vols getting 3.5 at home. I still lean on Georgia here. I'm gonna say Georgia minus 3.5. I'm not super confident in this, obviously. Any of these college picks I haven't looked into much yet. These are mostly my early leans. So stay tuned to what we post out on Saturday. HitTheBooks.pod and HitTheBooks_pod on Instagram and Twitter. So, but yeah, I lean on the Bulldogs here. I think this is their first big win of the year. I'm not big on this Tennessee team this year. At home, this place is going to be rocking. I wish this was a night game. I think it would help Tennessee more. Give me the Bulldogs on the road.
Awesome stuff here. Let's head over to the local game here in West Virginia. Pitt at West Virginia. Pitt's the favorite here, 7 points for them, total 57.5. I think West Virginia is getting a few more points here sadly because of that loss last week. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, terrible loss for West Virginia last week against Ohio. The only way they can somehow bounce back from that is you come home and you beat a 2-0 Pittsburgh Panthers team that has looked pretty good through 2 weeks. I think they have some high expectations there in the ACC. They're getting they're laying 7 points on the road for a reason. So, West Virginia, they don't have a real answer at quarterback. The new head coach, quote unquote new, bringing back Rich Rod, new first year back in this in town in Morgantown, but. I'm not big on this Mountaineers team this year. It's unfortunate to say, but they're not going to be very good, I don't expect. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pitt lay the number on the road.
Good stuff there, yeah, with the local game. But let's head to another ranked matchup. Number 18, USF, heading to number 5, Miami. Miami's the favorite here, 17.5 points for them, total 57.5. Pretty low total, in my opinion, for such a large spread. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the one we were just talking about. They're a plus 500 to keep that stack going. The 3 top 25 wins in 3 weeks. I think it comes to an end here. But 17.5 points is a lot. They've been fun. They're getting 17.5 points. I might have to keep an eye on that for USF, but that might be a heavily public play. So keep an eye out for that one as well.
All right, good stuff. One last game here. Number 16, Texas A&M, heading to number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, the favorite here, 6.5 points for them, total at 49.5. What you're thinking about this last one here, Huff, for week 3 in the college football world?
Yeah, Texas A&M's another team that I expect, pretty good bounce back year from. They weren't very good in past years, obviously. I expect Texas A&M to, they're 2-0 right now. This could be a road statement win for them, getting 6.5 points on the road, but I lean on Notre Dame to get their first win of the season, so I wouldn't be taking A&M on the money line. I would just say Notre Dame wins the game.
Solid picks here for week 3. Like you said, his early leans, so make sure you stay tuned to our Instagram and Twitter for all our college football plays come Saturday. Let's jump over the golf world here. We got the Ryder Cup coming up shortly, but the 2025 Procore Championship is this weekend. Well, normally this is not a big event. U.S. Ryder Cup captain Keelan Bradley wanted all Ryder Cup team members to play to get mentally prepared for the Ryder Cup in about 2 weeks. So let's take a look at the odds here of who will win the Procore Championship. Like you said, not usually a big event, but we got some big names here. Scotty leading the board at plus 225. Russell Henley behind him at plus 1,400. Justin Thomas at plus 1,600 with Cantlay also at 1,600. Sam Burns at plus 2,000. Cam Young and Morikawa at plus 2,200. Ben Griffin at plus 2,500. And Spawn also at 2,500. What are your thoughts here heading on this one, Huff?
Where is this at?
It's a great question.
Do we know where this is at? I didn't look this up. I put this note in here. I did not look up where it was.
Blanking.
Because in my opinion, this is going to be one of the hardest tournaments to bet this year because these guys, you haven't seen them play since the FedEx Cup, obviously, and even then, not even all these guys were playing that weekend, so even more time after that. This weekend, this isn't one where I necessarily see the great value in Scotty plus 225, but if I'm betting something, I'd take a dog and give me Scotty in the end, but I give you that's a boring pick every week. I know I do it, but it wins money, so I'm not going to complain about it. Maybe a guy like Batia plus 3,500. That's a great value play. He was playing some good golf at the end of the season there. I'd look for him to maybe surprise somebody and get his name up there up this leaderboard at some point this weekend. Do we know where it is yet?
Yes, sorry. It's in Silverado Country Club in Napa, California.
Okay. I like when the tournaments are out west, so you can watch them later.
Say it again.
Like the 8 a.m. tee times are 11.
Correct. I think the earliest one here is it's 10 a.m. Eastern.
So it's 7 a.m. Yeah.
So that's actually
Yeah,
kind of cool.
I like when the tournaments are out west, so you can watch. They don't start super early.
Yeah, the last tee time's 5:06 p.m.
Yeah, and
That's
that round
sweet.
goes till like 10 o'clock. It's like watching a football game.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice. All right. Well, yeah, lots of good stuff here in the golf world this weekend with the Pro Court Championship. Ryder Cup so close, going to be electric, going to be lots of fun. I'm so excited for it this year. Yeah, but let's go over this one last point here in the college hockey world. Penn State announced that Beaver Stadium, the school's football stadium, will host 2 outdoor hockey games on January 31st, 2026. The matchups will feature the men's team facing off against 2-time defending Big Ten champions, the Michigan State Spartans, and the PSU women's team hosting the AHA division foe, the Robert Morris Colonials. Outdoor game, always exciting. Any thoughts? First outdoor game in Beaver Stadium, always something that a lot of people talked about when I was in school. But it's cool to see it coming to fruition. What do you think?
Will this sell out? Like, will the football seats be filled?
I think.
Is there any chance? 100,000 people for this?
Yeah.
I hope so, because I want to be there.
Yeah. We're going. We already have accommodations, so you just got to get tickets.
Yeah.
Should be a good time.
This will be sweet. Gavin McKenna, obviously at Penn State, they're going to do everything they can to nationally televise and do whatever they can for stuff like this. Do some special stuff, and they already are. Is this the first outdoor college game in history, or is this just
No? There's outdoor games every year.
Okay,
but not necessarily some Division ones.
One thing with the game of hockey, they want to grow the game of hockey. Start putting college hockey on TV. They need to get a TV deal with the NCAA hockey so that can be on TV. College football. They're showing MACtion, everything on Tuesday nights, but I can't watch Denver versus Ohio State or Ohio State versus Penn State D1 hockey.
Makes no sense.
It's impossible, and it's so hard to watch.
Makes no sense. Yeah, if this game's not televised, they're doing something wrong, in my opinion.
It has to. I think this will be televised.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Beaver Stadium's like set up for it. Like they already have all the everything they need. Like
And I mean, you got to be crazy to think that they aren't filming all their games anyway. So it's not just some amateur photographer. It's
they're filming.
Going to be decent. These hockey clubs have tons of cash.
Yeah.
So definitely something to look forward to as we get into the new year, come January 31st. Alrighty, folks, we are back, and it is time for our NFL segment. Ace and Haas joining us now. Ace, Haas, what do you guys got for us? Ace, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, ready here for the NFL slate. Great week one. Tough spot for my Patriots to come in and lose that game, but we saw a lot of interesting things. Great primetime games, I think all 4 of them. Yeah, we were blessed with 4 primetime games in the week one slate. That was pretty cool to see. And I led the card too, so that's pretty awesome. But looking for all of us get to plus. Oh, yeah, that plus 550 team parlay, that one cashed too. That was awesome to start the year with. So now it's just a little house money for the next 5 weeks. Dare I say we hit another. But, ready to go on another week here.
Heck yeah. Haas, anything quick before we get into our power rankings and then week one?
Yeah, I mean, really happy to be back. Glad I was able to get back on with you guys. I mean, tough week one for my Ravens. Sure, we're going to get into week two, hopefully a little bit better going forward here for my boys. But I liked what I saw for the most part. I mean, I really expected more out of the defense. I haven't really gotten a chance to talk to you guys too much about that, but that was really my biggest qualm with the way the Ravens looked in week one was just the fact that the Ravens defense really didn't live up to the hype that I really expected. I'm sure it's going to be a lot like what it was last year, where they start off slow and then end up coming back and really becoming one of the league's best. But it's just these slow starts really get to kill you late in the season. So I'm really hoping we get to turn things around in week two and really take it to a really weak Browns team.
Heck yeah, I like it. We will get into week two here shortly, but not before our power rankings here coming into week two. Coming in at number 5, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 4, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, the Green Bay Packers. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. And number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. Anything on that, boys?
I mean, I'm pretty hyped we got the Buccaneers in there, Hoff. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. Mackey trying to edge them out with a couple other nominees and saying he thinks they're fraudulent, and it was a tough week one game, but I'm happy they're in there.
I think it was you that said it. I think both of those teams are pretty decent. I'm not huge on Atlanta, but watching them in that game from a team that I think a lot of people had a lot of expectations for Tampa Bay. They were going toe-to-toe with a division rival there at home on their home field. They have weapons like Bijan. We saw Kyle Pitts involved in that offense with Drake London almost got in the end zone there. I think he ended up dropping it, but ends up. I don't know if he's even playing this week. I saw him go down with an injury, but yeah, I think it's a good top list. Ace was trying to bust or push your Ravens out of the top 5 after that loss.
I'm actually really surprised to hear him say that. From a closet Ravens fan, I mean, I really expect a little bit better out of him. I'm happy to see that they stayed in the top 5. I mean, the Packers look good. We're going to see them work their way back up the chart.
I had the Ravens at 3. At 3.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right.
So Buffalo, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles was from my side at least.
Oh, it was the Packers were the one you edged out.
Packers and Chiefs I had out of my top 5.
Oh, okay, then good. That's kind of more of what I expect out of you, Alex. I mean, we literally watched that game in the Ravens room, and I think you had a lot of the same exact reactions that I did. So,
but Buffalo, you can wear
that hat all he wants, but the deep down, I know he's a little bit of a closet.
But Haas, try to tell you though, Buffalo Bills still owning your Baltimore Ravens here. I mean, it's the same old story.
What happened last year when we played them in the regular season? We spanked them. They didn't own us then.
Yeah, but what happened again? The Ravens blow another late lead after heading big time in the fourth quarter.
And lose
but
by
they're right
1
there.
point.
Like they had a great day. Defense didn't show up. Those Bills are really good. Josh Allen showing he deserved that MVP over Lamar Jackson. I think that was the statement of the game, low key.
Why wouldn't Lamar do?
Win. I think that's the most important thing. Week in and week out, we saw the Steelers for Hop take the win. We saw the Bengals grab a win. And the Bengals didn't even look good doing it. Meanwhile, you're sitting there with the Cleveland Browns at 0-1.
So you pinned that L on Lamar Jackson?
No, on the team. The team lost the game, so he didn't play as well as Josh Allen did, or else he would have won the game. He had the ball with a chance to ice it. Couldn't do that time after time again. But Josh Allen continuously stepping up to the moment and winning the game.
I got to take it, obviously. I mean, we're 0-1, just like you said, with everybody else. So we'll have a different conversation as the weeks go on, but I'm really excited to get into things here.
Yeah, it was a good week
Heck
one.
yeah,
Huff that Falcons team, I mean, Michael Penix Jr., he looked really good. Hoss, you were pretty high on him coming into the year too, but him along with Bijan Robinson connected to that long touchdown to start the game. You said Pitts and obviously London questionable after injuring that toe. But the defense stood up too, and they were a Young-Ho Koo leg away from tying that game and sending it to overtime.
I had them in that game. I was watching that one.
That was a crazy one. I had the Bucs, so I was happy to get by with the win. I think they were -1. I thought the line was a little weird. I thought they should have been -3, and they would have pushed there. I think a few weeks later in the season, that's exactly what would have happened. But Baker Mayfield showing why he's actually one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and then Emeka Egbuka showing up. I don't know if you guys saw that top 8 quarterbacks I posted after week 1, but any thoughts on that? I think Baker's definitely in that top 8. I mean, Huff, did you see that list?
The one that you sent? I did not look at it yet, no.
I think that's pretty accurate for the quarterback ranking coming into this week too, and like eager to see those guys. Kind of aligns with our best teams in the league too, usually. But
it's usually a big factor.
We can get into this week too. Yeah.
I have it here, Ace. Let me read it real quick here. Coming in at number 8, Baker Mayfield. Number 7, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Jaden Daniels. Number 5, Joe Burrow. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Jalen Hurts. And number 2, Lamar Jackson. Number 1, Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think a lot of those come with big wins. I think only how many losing quarterbacks are on that list? 2?
Yeah, I think it's pretty spot on.
And one of them played each other.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson losing to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes obviously losing to Justin Herbert.
Yeah, they played each other.
List. Yeah. So they've lost the guys that are on this list. I don't know, Jaden Daniels, I think that one could change. Joe Burrow could definitely move up. But any other quarterbacks you thought in week 1 played over expectations? I think Huff's guy gets a little bit of a
Rodgers?
nod.
I was going to say, if you're going to ask me that question.
I don't think he's in that spot. Mackie goes, what about Dak? I said, he's right there with Rodgers. I'd say Rodgers and Dak are between like 10 and 13. But figure out that 9th quarterback.
I'm not going to sit here and say
next
he's top. Yeah, believe me.
Who's the next best quarterback after this group, though? There's a lot of guys you could put in that conversation. Goff didn't look up to it. Maybe Jordan Love. A lot of people high on him. You're high on your Packers. J.J. McCarthy. I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch. Kyler Murray looked pretty good. Dak Prescott still, I think, could be good. It's a lot of
I feel like
I'd have you not though. Honestly, that's a weird thing, Alex. I remember when we were talking about it. It's like
Stroud.
No, he looked terrible.
You can't put him in that.
He looked terrible last year too. That's back-to-back years for the Texans. I mean,
Purdy when he's healthy, like
I like the Purdy pick, but he's hurt already again,
Yeah,
along
dude.
with George Kittle. Craziness.
They're already in the market for another quarterback. I was geeking about that.
Trey
Your
Lance,
boy
bring
Mac
him home.
Jones getting the start on Sunday.
Yeah, he's not the answer.
Who
Mac
is?
Jones is a good backup.
Who's getting the start on Sunday?
No, it's still questionable for Purdy, but he has a toe and a shoulder injury. But Mac Jones projected to start if he's out. And they just brought in Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, that's not bad, but I think they should bring someone like Trey Lance back. Remember they gave up on him so quick for nothing, and then look at how good he played for the Chargers in the preseason. He was so young when he joined that team. He has so inexperienced, no reps. Finally getting work under Harbaugh, and he looks like a legitimate quarterback. Imagine they brought someone like him back. That'd be interesting. But they have Purdy. That's their guy. So, I mean, that team, we'll get to that game here shortly. But there's a lot of quarterbacks. Even Justin Fields looked good this week, I think. That was pretty.
Justin Fields, yeah. Michael Penix. Don't call him
Michael
Penix.
Penix. Yeah,
Don't call him Penix. Did you see that?
Yeah.
No.
Do not call him Michael Penix. Get that? Did you see him getting called out? That kid in the stands thought he was funny. What'd you say? Like, all right, Michael Penix Jr. That's why I put him on my bench in my fantasy leagues. And honestly, that's
You see him run to tie that game too?
Yeah.
Clutch.
If you guys don't have him in your fantasy leagues, I definitely think if you're looking for a quarterback, like if you're stuck with like you didn't.
I'm more of a JJ McCarthy fan than Michael Penix though.
I like
think
Michael
they're both
Penix
right
a lot.
there.
I like that offense a lot too. Like they're gonna put up
You can
points.
say that about both teams. You can say
Yeah,
that
no,
about
yeah,
both.
no,
teams.
You didn't say the fucking Marlins gave up 2 more runs.
Oh yeah, that was tough. I'm just kind of
Sorry.
taking the L
Sorry,
on
I
that
just saw
one. Yeah, taking the L on that one, Huff. If there's good news, I'll definitely let you know. But I don't see any coming in our future. Just the way my week's been going in the fantasy championship. But yeah, I mean, you want to know whose name hasn't come up? And we went through a lot of quarterbacks there, just about maybe almost 24. Bo Nix. I mean, that flaw off I called. Is he that good? Barely getting by the Titans. It's a 1 week. Let's not overreact. I think Cam Ward looked better, and his guys just can't catch the ball.
He started the season slow last year, though.
Yeah, I know. But I think this Broncos team is going to have some serious regression. I said Broncos, potentially Commanders. We'll see as they have some tests coming up here. But the Lions with a bunch of regression. Sam Darnold, like nobody even mentions his name. He got the big contract to go play for those Seahawks, and
he's going to catch another L this week. They're going to be 0-2.
Yeah, that's a tough game. Good spot though for your Steelers. I mean, I think they should be able to get after them. That's going to be an interesting game. A lot of weapons to cover too. A little bit stronger than the Jets offensively, so I'm eager to see how that goes.
The DK revenge game.
Yeah, DK. Where is it? In Seattle or in Pittsburgh?
It's in Pittsburgh. Home
Pittsburgh.
opener.
Oh, that's massive. Because I was listening to that Seahawks 49ers game last week. Oh my God, the amount of false starts. The 12th man was actually showing up. Like I had my headphones on at the gym for that 4 o'clock slate, blasting in my ear watching it. Like I don't know how Brock Purdy's like getting plays off. Everybody's false starting, but he came back and led the game-winning drive without George Kittle, already without Brandon Ayuk. I mean, that's why I think this 49ers team is really good, but that home field advantage is something, so it definitely helps out you guys going back home after taking week 1 in the Meadowlands.
Are you getting rattled? Were you getting rattled on the bench press?
The stadium pulse was through.
No, I was on the
Under
Niners.
the
I had a -1, so I was like, wow, if Brock Purdy can handle this, I can handle this, and we're good. He did. People like to disrespect Brock Purdy. He was actually pretty good. Hopefully, he gets better soon.
Heck yeah, boys. We got 1 point here before we get into week 2. We all saw it. One of the biggest moments to start off the season, defensive tackle Jalen Carter has been fined $57,222 after spitting on Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott during the Eagles-Cowboys season opener last Thursday. He will not have to serve any suspension. Any thoughts on this, boys?
I mean, the clip of Dak spitting.
Yeah.
First.
What? Well, yeah. Why doesn't Dak get anything?
No, they don't want to suspend Dak, so they pulled his suspension. I think that's what it is.
I think so too.
I see the side where Dak just kind of like spit, like it was in his direction. And then Carter just walks up and spits right on his chest. That is so different.
Yeah,
I wish Mackie was here. I would compare this to when Addison stuck his gum on Beal's forehead. We all looked at each other like, dude, he's going to kill you.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, you take one step further, it's an eye for an eye there. I mean, Jalen Carter obviously ended it, but the refs ended his
I also
day.
don't like that was his suspension. I feel like he should have got one more.
No, I think if anything, you suspend both of them. That's probably the right move. If it was 2 lesser players, they definitely would have been. But the Cowboys are the biggest market in the NFL, probably. So you really need to get Dak Prescott on the field and make them a valid team. And Jalen Carter just being the beneficiary of that, the interaction was with Dak Prescott, or else he'd be suspended alongside whoever it would have been.
It's just funny because they're not even mentioning Dak Prescott whenever this comes up at all. Like, I don't see anything about Dak.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, because I'm kind of with you too. I was with you too a little bit, Huff. I was like, well, I mean, he didn't spit in his face, but also like,
Also, the
you
Jalen Carter history, though. Like, think about his.
I think that was more of why the
background.
hammer came down on him. To be honest with you, it was like, we're not doing this, but also like
the camera catching it perfectly.
Yeah, but he's not going to start problems. He's going to finish them, and I'd kind of be the same way if I'm in that kind of a role and that kind of a defense. Like, really heated rivalry, you're going to spit in my feet. Like, I'm not going to let that fly either.
Yeah, tough, but at least they get their guys back, both teams.
Alrighty, boys. Let's go through week 1 records here real quick. Ace leading the card at 8-4, a plus 4.25 units. Myself going 4-2, a plus 1.92 units. Huff going 4-4, losing just shy of a half of a unit. Mackie going 0-4, losing just over 4 units. Let's hope for a better week 2 across the board for most of us. But let's
fucking Ravens, dude.
Yeah, you're telling me, Huff. We're on to week 2 though. It's all right.
What was the craziest thing I ever saw?
I was having a great Sunday until I woke up to that on Monday morning.
I'll tell you what, the craziest thing I ever saw was Huff taking 2 player props on Monday Night Football and me just taking 1 plus play. I'm like, whoa, the tables have
and
turned.
The second one should have hit. That's the other thing I'm going to say is that you called that. I saw your text that you were like, that run just helped his props. I was like, come on, Caleb, get me 10 garbage time yards. He didn't even get the chance. They couldn't get the playoff.
Oh, he had a lot of chances the whole
Yeah, exactly.
He just couldn't do anything. The DJ Moore wide open corner pass. I mean, but JJ McCarthy, good hit on that rushing prop. He looked good in the fourth quarter at least.
Rushing touchdown. I was like, I did not expect that's how I was going to hit that, but I'll take it.
Yeah, and some of these quotes I'm seeing popping out about JJ McCarthy after the game, like the Aaron Jones one. I don't know if you guys saw that one today about what he said in the huddle in the late in the third or early fourth quarter. Just rally the team and like sticking with it in your first career game, the face of adversity, coming back and winning on Monday Night Football in a hostile environment against your divisional opponent. I mean, kudos to him. And I think he's defying a lot of people's expectations. I think I'm in the minority when I say I was expecting this, but that was pretty interesting. After Caleb Williams looked electric to start, and then Bears fans saw the same old and had to go delete a lot of tweets, I think.
I was almost on the Bears there. I'm glad I stayed away on that.
Were they dogs? They were home dogs, right?
Yeah, and then it closed. They closed as minus 115 favorites.
Yeah, I think I was close to taking the Vikings the whole night, and I was like, no. I was close to taking Jefferson. I was like, no. Settled on Aaron Jones, and it worked out. So.
When I saw that touchdown, I was like, that was a crazy way also to hit that. I would never guess that's how you hit Aaron Jones.
Oh yeah,
touchdown is a
what is this
Madden? Wheel route
what is this Madden? You're just audibling him the wheel route, and your rookie QB is dropping it in a bucket, and we're taking it for 6. Like I literally saw the ball in the air. I was just like, all right, well, they just threw another touchdown. And I see Aaron Jones TD pop up graphic. I'm like, all right, boys, we're here.
Funny though, because you were watching it all before the game too. Like, I mean, that was definitely a stage JJ McCarthy's wanted to be on for a long time. Like, I'm sure he probably wanted to be on the other side wearing a Bears jersey, but at the same time, like, he balled out in a really big spot, and I definitely think it was a game he had circled on his calendar ever since getting drafted by the Vikings. So I'm really happy to see that he worked out well. And I really like that Vikings defense. Vikings offense. I don't think anybody really had any issues or any reservations about taking anybody in as far as fantasy value wise, but JJ McCarthy might actually be the piece that they were looking for to get over the hump.
Yeah, he's definitely worthy of that first round pick. But all these night games, I mean, we really did well on the card in these night games. We've got to capitalize on those solo slates. I think we've said that year after year now, is those solo slate games where you can really dive into is when we do better. But I think I went 1-0. You went 1-1 on Monday night. Jesse and I
Friday night I got a little bit of a cushion with the Kelsey anytime touchdown.
Yeah,
I also
Kelsey,
took the first.
That was nice. But I think I hit a nice McConkey receiving prop.
And then you took Pacheco. I think that was your loss there.
Yeah,
I think you started because you started 1-1 with no unit movement.
Yeah, and then Sunday Night Football, keeping it safe with your leg of Derrick Henry. I'm surprised you didn't add that on the card. I mean, that was automatic. Jesse's over automatic, and your 2-unit play looking great until the very last second.
Yeah, till it wasn't.
Exactly. Well, I'm excited. Got a good Thursday night game here.
Honestly, I feel like I kind of blame Huff for that loss. Like, I can't believe he was on the Ravens. I feel like I would have felt a lot better.
Huff and Mackey on the Ravens.
I would have loved it if Mackey was like, oh, I don't believe in this Ravens. And you know what, though? We'll get it next week. Well, probably not next week, but the next big game we get, we're going to get the Mackey hating Ravens back in play, so that'll be a lot better.
Alrighty, boys. The opening week of the 2025 NFL season is complete, and we're already off to a wild start. In the season opener Thursday, the Eagles held off the Cowboys despite a lightning delay in the ejection of defensive tackle Jalen Carter before the first play from scrimmage. The action continued Friday night when the Chargers stunned the Chiefs with a tight win in Sao Paulo. In the early window Sunday, the Colts quarterback Daniel Jones scored 3 total touchdowns in a blowout win over the Dolphins. 2 quarterbacks who swapped teams also dueled with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers barely coming out on top over Justin Fields and the Jets. In later games, the Packers dominated the Lions in edge rusher Micah Parsons' debut for Green Bay. Meanwhile, the 49ers came back to defeat the Seahawks on the road with a go-ahead touchdown in the final 2 minutes of regulation. The Bills capped off the night with a thrilling comeback win over the Ravens. Early on Monday night, it looked as if Ben Johnson was ushering in a new era of enthusiasm in Chicago, but the Bears wasted a second-half lead, and J.J. McCarthy helped lead the Minnesota Vikings victory. But now it's time for Week 2. Let's start out with our Thursday night football game here. Commanders and Packers. Packers at home here. They're the favorite. 3.5 points for them. Money line at -190 for them. Commanders plus 155 total at 48. Who wants to get us? Ace, you want to get us started on this one?
Yeah, I mean, easy take here. Jaden Daniels is better than Jordan Love. People keep talking about how good Jordan Love is and how much they like this Packers team, but how consensus is that Jaden Daniels is basically a top 5 quarterback in the league at this point. All we've seen is success from him in the NFL, beating good teams in the playoffs when it mattered. And the fact that they're underdogs this week against a very propped up team that just rode high off of a divisional win. I like him on the road here as a road dog to take that plus 160 and these Commanders to continue their good ways after that week 1 win over the Giants.
I'm on the other side here. I like the Packers here. I'm going to lay the 3 points. I think the Packers are going to be a very good team this year, especially at home. They were one of the best teams at home last year. I think they continue that this year. Get a big win in their home opener against Detroit. Staying at home here on a short week, I think, is huge as well. Getting or laying the 3.5 at home, 3, however you want to take it. If you want to buy the half point, but I'm all over the Packers here on Thursday night. Josh Jacobs, anytime touchdown.
-220.
Commanders giving up a crazy amount of rushing yards back to the end of last year and even last week. I think Jacobs will get in the end zone. You could take that -210 as a parlay leg. That'll probably be mine on Sunday.
Oof. On Thursday, you got to throw your parlay leg as a Thursday night play?
I don't know if we can do that, but I might.
You can do it. You're right here. You got the opportunity.
You're the one writing the script. I think you can do whatever you want.
We'd have to figure out the rest of the parlay, though, so that's the issue.
Ooh, that is tough. You're posing.
I don't want to do. I'm not going to do that to you guys.
Don't do that to us. You can't do that. No,
this would be my parlay leg if it wasn't a Thursday night game.
If this was a Sunday at 1 o'clock game, chalk it up all day long. But I think this is going to be a good.
The Packers here.
I like Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt to find the end zone. I think there's a lot more value on value on that. Plus 230 against that -210. Maybe you take the 2 of them and you make units either way, right? But he's taking over that RB1 or RBA, however you want to put it, spot in that offense. Deebo Samuel is a target hog. He is a hog off the field when he's eating his food too, but he's getting his targets this week and being productive with them. He's still got Scary Terry, old man Zach Ertz scoring, Cliff K calling the plays. I don't know. Hoss, you with Matt LaFleur or are you with Dan Quinn here this week?
Honestly, as much as I like the Commanders team and I like that offense a lot, you know me, I'm a big cheesehead. I love the Green Bay Packers, especially in this spot too. I'm definitely with Huff. I would definitely be putting that in my guaranteed touchdown parlay if we were doing it for Thursday Night Football. Josh Jacobs is getting in the end zone. Micah Parsons is going to be wreaking havoc on that Commanders team that he's really familiar with too. That's going to be a really exciting one. I'm excited that it's going to be a good game to be up with the little man watching some division rivalry football on Thursday night, and that's going to be one that I've had pretty excitement over looking at the schedule early on in the year. I definitely like the Packers with the points. I'd probably buy the 3 points too, just to make us feel a little bit better about it, but I don't think there's going to be any issues there.
What's crazy is
wide receivers for the Packers too. I think there's going to be some long touchdowns in this one, but I love Deebo too, so I think there's going to be some good value here if you're looking for props. But really fun prop game on Thursday night, and I'm going to be putting on my cheese hat for that one.
Yeah, what's crazy is the 2 of you are both on the Green Bay Packers, and neither of you mentioned the name Micah Parsons. He's the best player on the field. And if I were to take a team in this games, I would put him as the main reason why. But guys, like, they're not bot receivers. Matthew Golden drafted highly. Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Tucker Kraft is a good tight end. Josh Jacobs is an elite running back, and they have a great head coach as well. The defense looks strong. With also, besides Micah, there's a lot of other good names on that defense too that can help out with them. But I think that Jordan Love is not that good, and I don't think he has the winning pedigree of Jaden Daniels, and that is why on Sunday I already locked in my Commanders plus 160 ticket. That's my only play I'm going to be riding tomorrow night, as I am very confident in this Commanders team to prove why they made it all the way to the NFC Championship this game and pump the brakes on those Green Bay Packers a little bit. I think they're getting a little too much hype right now.
Alrighty, boys. That's it for our Thursday night football game here. Two teams looking for their first loss, but we'll see what happens here on Amazon. But let's jump into our games on Sunday here. Bills and Jets are going to start us off. Jets at home. Bills are the favorite. 6.5 points for them. Total at 46.5. Any thoughts on this one? What do you guys think?
I can't go against this Bills team right now. I'm going to take the 6.5 points on the road. I know the Jets looked good in a loss, putting up 32 points. Justin Fields had kind of wanted a little bit of a pat on the back there at his press conference. I don't know if that was Monday or Tuesday, whenever that was, saying, I mean, you put up 32 points in a loss. It's like, well, congrats, buddy. The key word there is you lost the game. Your home opener. A lot of people didn't really have much expectation for this Jets team, and I'm kind of going to get back to that here and take the Bills minus the 6.5. They looked great, and obviously that Sunday night comeback. The defense obviously looks susceptible to the run game, which is where the Jets succeed. They had success with that with Breece Hall and Justin Fields on Sunday, both of them getting in the end zone. But I'm going to take the Bills with the points here. I think the Josh Allen and James Cook will just be a little bit too much for this Jets team.
Yeah, I mean, this is a crazy game because do we just trust the best team in the league at minus 350, or are the Jets an actual problem? I think that's going to be the big point of this game. If they're able to keep it close, I think they're going to get a little bit more respect like they did against your Steelers last week. But if they get blown out here, everybody's going to be like, all right, this Jets team is nothing. Justin Fields, this is your big test right here. Because that front seven was nasty getting into the face of Lamar Jackson last week. Haas starting off the pod with how good Lamar Jackson was. How good was that front seven for the Buffalo Bills? Ed Oliver looking like a Pro Bowler alongside Gregory Rousseau is primed for a massive year. They brought in Joey Bosa as well. They have a few other veterans alongside that line. And let's not forget they have Matt Milano and some decent secondary back there too. So that's going to be a very strong test for Justin Fields. They just contain the better version of Justin Fields, which is Lamar Jackson. At the end of the game, they didn't contain him. Obviously, they gave up a ton of points, but later in the game, they showed they figured out they had answers for a good running back like Derrick Henry, good quarterback like Lamar. I translate that to Breece Hall and Justin Fields. So I do think the Bills cover this line here, Hoff. I'm right there with you. James Cook by the end zone, Josh Allen looking like another MVP season, at least from week one standpoint. And all the weapons on the outside looked like they got better like we expected. Keon Coleman looking better. Dalton Kincaid looking better. Khalil Shakir, the connection's still there. Josh Palmer's a good ad, in my opinion. Dawson Knox. So there's a lot of targets to go around. I just think everything's just going to overwhelm these.
I just you just said his name, Josh Palmer. I was watching that game Sunday night. He caught a pass. I was like, that was my first moment of the NFL season where I was like, oh, he's on that team now. Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a good pickup this offseason. I was telling Haas.
I had no clue he was a Buffalo Bill.
Literally, we were talking to Haas, and I was like, Haas, this Josh Palmer had such a great one. I feel like he could be a true wide receiver one if he ever got the opportunity anywhere, but he does well in his role. So made a veteran play to cause a DPI that was massive against the Ravens. And that Chargers receiver room got pretty rebuilt, though, huh? It looked good in week one. But yeah, I'm on the Bills here, Haas. I think that the Jets are faking, the Bills are real. What are you thinking?
I mean, I'd like to say that I agree with you 100%, but at the same time, this Ravens team really showed that this Bills team will give up yards on the ground, and I think that's what the Jets are going to be looking to do on Sunday. I don't necessarily think they're going to have enough to take down this Bills team, especially with a 6.5 point spread. I mean, that's a lot of points. If you're going to do anything, maybe take the Jets with the points, maybe even tease them up, but I don't think you show it.
Dogs at home getting points. It's always a good trend there.
Huff, you tease this. What do you get, 12.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad spot to be. So you think gets in the end zone here? Is Justin Fields having nose for it once again?
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably a combination of Fields. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I'd say I'll come in for him. I'd say Fields. I think you could say Breece Hall gets in. We saw Garrett Wilson, the former Ohio State. Justin Fields throwing some deep balls there to his boy Garrett Wilson. I don't know if that happens again this week, but for Buffalo, I said it. Allen will get in again. Cook will get in again. Yeah, I think this one
I
will
could
be
see
all
big
Bills.
numbers again here for Buffalo this week.
2 AFC East matchups. This one and then the next one that we're going to get into. So I think
Real quick, sorry to cut you off there, but they just gave up how many 34 points to the Pittsburgh Steelers led by Aaron Rodgers.
it could
What
be
do you think
40.
the
It
MVP
could be 46 to Bills.
to the MVP quarterback in the
Yeah.
league? I mean, he could give up a big number this week.
Yeah. Although I said it, that game is personal to Rodgers. You know how much he loves putting up 4 tuds on that team.
No,
And then coming out and saying, I love beating everyone associated with the Jets.
Yeah, and but like Josh Allen, I mean, he did it against
Oh,
the
yeah.
Ravens. Like they looked like they were on fire at the end of that second half. I think it carries over.
Yeah, I agree.
Alrighty, let's jump into our next 1 o'clock game here. 2 teams looking for their first win. Aces, New England Patriots, and the Miami Dolphins in Miami. The Dolphins are the favorite here. 1.5 points for them. Their money line -120. Patriots at +100. Total sitting at 43.5. Ace, why don't you get us started on this one?
Yeah, Patriots Dolphins divisional game. I mean, the Patriots gave you a mixed bag of results in week 1. They kind of looked like a team that had a new coach and a lot of new faces. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some ugly. The missed field goal and the interception in the second half, definitely ugly. The first half starting 10-7, the defense holding strong, containing Ashton Gentry. That was nice. Giving up a lot of yards to Brock Bowers, that's expected. But yeah, just would have liked to have seen a little bit more Trey Henderson, but it's week 1 without Christian Gonzalez, arguably the best player on the team. So seeing them come in this week against the Miami Dolphins is actually really nice because the Dolphins looked absolutely atrocious. Their sidelines are in shambles. I think this is the year, and we're pretty close to Mike McDaniels getting fired. Probably will be picked up as a coordinator down the line or maybe coaching college. But I think he's out, and this team just needs to get a full reset. Tyreek Hill's already been clamoring. Should have been dealt in the offseason, in my opinion. And now they're in just turmoil. And I don't know. I'm not a big Tua guy personally, but I've got the Patriots here. I saw a stat that like underdog teams, when they go head to head, the dogs in the underdog 0-1 game are like 43-26, maybe even 46-23, maybe something better like that. So I'm going with the Patriots. I know it's +1, but I got them on the money line to win here. Drake May showed me a lot more, and the Dolphins look absolutely flat. So give me the Pats +1.
Hoss, you want to go here?
Yeah, what I don't understand is how bad or like non-existent this Dolphins team can be. I mean, this is really the same exact offense that we saw when they were putting up 50 points a week. I don't understand what happened or where it went wrong, but I think there's a lot more problems that are deeply rooted within the locker room, or just, I guess, the way that the organization's been run the past few years is why the fall off's been so heavy. I think that paired with the Patriots' ability to put together a roster that's trending upward is going to be a big spot for the Patriots to show exactly where they're going to sit within the division. I really think that Drake May is going to have a good day. I hope to see the Patriots defense show out here. I don't really think I'm going to put too many plays on this game just because I really want to just see how this one's going to play out, especially early in the year. Like I said, this is going to probably mean a lot more down the line, especially for teams like the Dolphins and the Patriots that are going to be potentially fighting for a wild card spot. Maybe even pressing for the division. You never know, but let's not get crazy yet. It's still week 2. I just think, again, with the Patriots trending upward, Dolphins trending down, I think this is going to be a big spot for Drake May to get right and really show Miami what he's made of.
I'm obviously not as confident in the Patriots as you two are. I'm not going to say the Dolphins come out and win this game, but for all the reasons you guys said, the Dolphins don't look like a functional team right now. A lot going on there. How long is McDaniels going to be there? How long is Tyreek Hill going to be there? There's a lot of question marks around that team right now. I would lean on the Patriots to win this game, but I don't think I'm as confident as you two.
What are your reservations with the Patriots, Huff?
I think that Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and their offense could eventually.
They should be good.
Like,
oh yeah. So you're still just believing in the Dolphins, not necessarily.
Yeah, like I think it's like for all the reasons you said, it's still the same offense. Like, what is going on and stopping them from 1 week to
put up 60 points?
I'll tell you what, though.
60, but
I'll tell you what. You know what is stopping them is if Christian Gonzalez is able to suit up this week, he's going to put Tyreek Hill in a box like he did last year, where he absolutely clamped them. That's why he's one of the best corners of the league. That'll be a big piece to add to this defense this week, who was already getting pressure last week. But I just think that this Dolphins team's in turmoil. Like, I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch, though. A lot of question marks for both teams and a big first win sitting there on the table. Huff, real quick, the Marlins just took the lead.
All right, so at least you'll get a no decision.
Yeah.
All righty. Another 1 o'clock matchup here. The Jags and the Bengals in Cincinnati. The Bengals are the favorite here, 3.5 points for them. Their money line -190. Jags at +155. Total at 49. Huff, why don't you get us started on this one?
I lean on the Jaguars here plus the points. I like the road team here. The Jaguars showed me a good bit of things in that week one game. I know they were playing Carolina, who I think at least me and Ace have somewhat of hopes for this year. At least they're trending upward, like we like to say about some other teams. But this Jaguars team, I was kind of lenient on coming into this year. I think they could be in that position for a wild card spot. Another year with Trevor Lawrence, a new head coach, and Liam Cohen. I drafted Travis Etienne in all my fantasy leagues because of how big he was with Bucky Irving and those running backs in Tampa Bay. Etienne looked great in week one. And what do? They shipped Tank Bigsby to Philadelphia for late round picks. And I think Etienne and Trevor are going to be back for another run. He has his receivers in Hunter and Brian Thomas. I like this Jaguars team this year. The defense looked good. The Bengals obviously barely winning over a Cleveland Browns team that I think the Browns should have won that game. We know how the Bengals like to start the season. They got away with one there. I'm going to go with the Jaguars here plus the 3.5 points to keep this thing close.
Yeah, this game is very conflicting for me. I think that the Bengals are a really good team, but I also think that this Jaguars team might have a little bit of a renaissance and push for this AFC South. I wasn't feeling that too in a few weeks ago, but the reemergence of Travis Etienne, we saw how Liam Cohen was able to get Bucky Irving going and establish a true run game in Tampa Bay. Now he's getting a chance to do it in Jacksonville. They moved on from Tank Bigsby as they put him to Philadelphia, I believe, in that trade, pushing Tootin up to the number 2 running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But Travis Hunter looked good. Brian Thomas Jr. had a light day, but he got in the end zone. And that defense was playing strong. They didn't let Bryce Young do anything at all. So with Liam Cohen coming into this Jacksonville team, they're going to establish a strong supporting cast along Trevor Lawrence. But I still don't think it's enough. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow didn't even play well, and they still got the dub. Chase Brown looked great, and that defense got a little bit stronger. We saw those edge rushers, the new one they drafted, putting pressure on the quarterback. Secondary coming up with a couple of interceptions. So I've got the Bengals here. I am not too confident in the -3.5 points. I'd rather take them on a money line here. But I think that 7-Eleven opens back up this week and they're able to find a bit more room to work the ball.
I just don't understand what happened in week one. Like, why did they were just non-existent?
Miles Garrett.
Like you said, they always start so slow, but I don't know. You know what it is? It's because I bought into them in one of my fantasy leagues. I went with the Slopwell double stack of
You went with the
Burrow,
triple stack.
Chase. Yeah, I went with the triple stack, Burrow, Chase, and Chase Brown, and they did nothing for me. I mean, Chase Brown looks pretty good, but that offense, a lot of the same things. These offense look great, but it takes a little while for them to kind of get things worked out, I guess, and then get in midseason form, they become a different team. Is it going to be this week? I don't necessarily know. I mean, this would be a great spot for them to get right, but you know how high I am on this Jaguars team. This is definitely a team that I think is going to be trending in the right
Travis
direction.
Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne. Even you basically begged me to pick him in a lot of leagues, and I never did. So I'm going to be biting my lip on that one a little bit more. But I really like Brian Thomas Jr. Obviously, I'm going to be putting him on the card again. Thank God he got it for me.
Brenton Strange.
Yeah, this offense actually looks pretty good. Just like
Liam Cohen, he did it in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Duval, like he's the guy.
He can build what he had in Tampa Bay here, but I still don't think it's enough. Give me the Bengals this week to take out the Jacksonville Jaguars in a good game.
Good score prediction, Alex.
Oof, let's see. I think there's probably 27. What a great kicker they have in Jacksonville, too, Cam Little. 27 points from the Jaguars. I think we see like 31 to 35 for the Bengals this week. I see a high-scoring game. Let's go.
Heck yeah, boys. Another 1 o'clock game here. Browns and Ravens in Baltimore. Ravens are the favorite here, 11.5 points total at 45. Haas, you want to start us off with this one?
Oh, yeah, this is definitely going to be a game that I think is going to put the Ravens back on the map a little bit. And in terms of the power rankings for a lot of people, I don't think this would be a game that I'd normally worry about, but especially after the loss last week, I'm really hoping, and again, I'm saying hoping because I know it's coming. I just don't know when. I expect it to be this week. I really was hoping for week one, but I'm expecting it to be this week that this defense gets right. I mean, we have a lot of great pieces, but it can't just be a Kyle Hamilton show every single game. And that's not going to win you a Super Bowl, much less get you any farther than the AFC Championship. So with all these pieces that they brought in, all of the people doing what they normally do or doing what they should or expect them to do, I really hope that this is going to be the get-right game for the Ravens. I mean, it's going to be a good spot, too, against a team that really likes to throw the ball. So I'm hoping guys like Chidobe Awuzie continue to look good. Kyle Hamilton on the defensive side of the ball. I definitely think Derrick Henry has a big game again here in a really good spot. But Zay Flowers, obviously, wide receiver 1 in the NFL. Love saying that. Lamar Jackson, obviously, going to put on a show, too, in Cleveland. But give me the Ravens here with the points. Give me the Derrick Henry touchdowns, all the good stuff.
Huff, dare I say, Joe Flacco revenge game in his first start in Baltimore since he's left?
I wish, but I
No,
don't
definitely
see it.
not. Definitely not. I've got the Ravens
I'd
here.
love the Ravens to start 0-2. I don't think it happens.
No, I don't think so either. Myles Garrett was giving fits to Joe Burrow. We know he'll be in the face of Lamar Jackson, but it won't even be near enough to keep up with this offense. We saw how good they played. That was the best they could have played in a loss last week, and they still were only put up 16 points against a very inferior Bengals defense. So I think that the defense gets right, like Haas was saying, and they feast a little bit with guys who had a lot of sacks and interceptions and good defensive numbers last year, and look for Henry and Lamar to continue eating. I think they get other people involved this week, though. I believe Likely's coming back into the mix. Mark Andrews might touch the ball a little bit more. Rashad Bateman. So look for it to be a little bit more open. I expect the Ravens to cover the spread. I think they're all the way up to like minus 850 on the money line now. So everybody thinks they're going to get it done. I think they will too. But how about Harold Fannin Jr., Dylan Sampson from the Cleveland Browns actually making names for themselves? I think they're exceeding people's expectations 1 week into the season, but they're still going to get trounced here this week. Give me the Ravens.
You brought up a good point, Alex, and I just wanted to touch on this really quick. For those of you that are looking for a tight end in fantasy, Isaiah Likely is the guy in Baltimore, and that was the missing piece in this Baltimore game last week. But really give me an Isaiah Likely masterclass if he's able to suit up on Sunday.
Yeah, I expect the Ravens to have a much better day, especially with a little bit of vengeance going home to play after losing a heartbreaker up in Buffalo last week. Very much easier opponent, but a divisional opponent nonetheless. Should be a good football game.
Heck yeah, boys. Do not forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter for all our picks for this weekend. Posting those on Thursday, Sunday, Monday for all of our NFL Week 2 picks. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and Twitter. But let's keep going through these games here. Giants and Cowboys is next to another 1 o'clock matchup here in Dallas. Cowboys are the favorite by 5.5 points here. Total at 44.5. Ace, what do you think about this matchup here in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Dallas Cowboys are a good football team. Another team just like the Ravens, who we just touched on, having the deficiency of facing one of the top teams in the NFL week 1. They played the best team in the league, defending champions on their Super Bowl banner-raising night, and almost won the game. We had that lightning strike and all that. And CeeDee Lamb didn't even play that well. I know he's the 5th leading receiver in the NFL, but he had a lot of drops, which is uncharacteristic of himself. And they only lost by 4 points. So thinking to get a much lighter matchup here. I think they're able to get the job done. Look at Javonte Williams, the way he stepped up in game 1 when he's healthy. He's showing that he can be one of the better running backs in the league and a true RB1. And that defense, I think, played pretty strong. They signed some of the ball hawks like Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland. So I like the Cowboys to get the job done here this week. Meanwhile, the Giants, they're questioning if they should bench Russell Wilson already for Jackson Dart, even though the plan was to not play him all year. They couldn't get anything going. Maybe the defense played pretty decent. Brian Burns had a good day against Jaden Daniels. But other than that, they were getting beat through and through. So this Giants team is in shambles. Brian Daboll on the hot seat, just like Mike McDaniels. I think he could have his time done, but maybe he gets one more chance with his prodigy Jackson Dart whenever he does get the start. But it's going to be sooner than later, especially if Daboll's job is on the line. Give me the Cowboys here this week to roll the Giants and force them into playing Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I agree. I lean on Dallas here, especially coming off a loss at home. This is a huge game for Dallas. Divisional game as well. Getting the Giants on the road. Malik Neighbors may not be suiting up on Sunday for this one. The home opener for the Cowboys. I think this is a rout. I would lean on the Cowboys minus 5.5.
Does Malik Neighbors even want to play for this team anymore? 1 year into his career, and he's already getting into fights with the guys on the sidelines 1 week into the season. So that'll be an interesting storyline. How much longer does he play there? Maybe it's just Jackson Dart. That's the prayer. Hip, skop, jump, skip, and a hop. That's their prayer to get the Giants back into the right ways is Jackson Dart.
I just don't know if it's going to be what people expect him to be, what they drafted him for, especially in this type of a game. It's going to be a really hostile environment, a really tough game, obviously, against a divisional opponent. I'm not expecting too much out of the Giants. They haven't shown me anything to really believe in yet. You know, I'm a big Tyrone Tracy guy. I'm hoping he does at least something.
Better.
I know, I hate to say it too, but like he's just not a pure running back. So not really too sure that this Giants team is really headed in the right direction anytime soon. So definitely give me the Cowboys in this one. And like you said, too, CeeDee Lamb get back on track to be that wide receiver one that we expect him to be.
The defensive line, though, that's another good defensive line unit. Once they build the rest of the team, I mean, Brian Burns in the backfield, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy. So, I mean, that's their only play, but we're not going to let Russ cook. I think Huff can, there's no more Russell Wilson jersey hiding under that jacket on the closet, right? You don't have to back that guy anymore.
I still support my guy, but yeah, it's looking like might be a short tenure there in New York.
Is that the career?
Sadly, probably.
Yeah, let's see.
Alrighty, continuing through these 1 o'clock games, we have the Rams and the Titans next in Nashville. The Rams, the favorite here, 5.5 points for them. Their money line minus 250. Titans at plus 200 total, 41.5. Who wants to get us going on this game?
Are the Titans good? Is Cam Ward good?
No,
You don't think Cam Ward's good?
No, I think he looked okay. The Titans team is so bad. I'm on the Rams here. I doubted the Rams in week 1 against the Texans there at home, in LA. I for some reason thought the Texans were going to come in and steal that one, but the Rams handled business. Nakua looked awesome.
Kyron.
Kyron. They have a good team. They're going to be back. It looks like they should now be the favorites again to win that division with the injury to Purdy. So I'd look for the Rams to get one on the road here. 5.5 is a weird number, especially on the road. I love the money line for them to win this game. Great teaser leg. Get them at basically a money line.
Yeah, give me the Niners to win that division. But for this game, definitely give me the Rams here, the more experienced team, the better team. But am I wrong to say that it could look very similar to the Titans' first game, where they had chances to win the game but just didn't? Because I would put the Rams in the same stratosphere as the Denver Broncos, built the same way, pretty strong young defenses, a savvy quarterback with some decent weapons. I guess the better weapons go to the Rams and a better coach. I mean, they both have won Super Bowl, I guess, so maybe they're about equal. But I think the Titans had chances and the defense stepped up a little bit. It's just that the playmakers around Cam Ward aren't good enough to do it. Yeah, Calvin Ridley's decent. Yeah, Tony Pollard's decent. They have Elick Ayumanor, or however you say his name. He's not too bad either, but I just don't think they have enough to get the job done. Cam Ward's dad's going to be pretty pissed once again on the sidelines watching everybody drop pass after pass, but I think he's actually a good product. He's like that meme you see of the Corvette under that built-off garage, the outdoor garage. That's like the Cam Ward story of the season, but they're going to be waiting for the draft next year. Give me the Rams here this week to get the job done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's not really too much else I could say. I mean, it's going to be all the same exact guys you mentioned. I really hope that we can see something good come from the Cam Ward experience, but I really don't think it's going to be this week with a really good team that's solid on both sides of the ball. So give me the Rams in this one. It's just really easy money.
Alrighty, good stuff there. Let's head over to this next game. Two teams looking for their first win here. Bears and Lions at 1 o'clock in Detroit. Lions are the favorite here. 6 points for them. The total at 46.5. Who wants to get us going on this one?
I can take that. I mean, I really like the Bears. I liked what they showed, and I really like the opportunities that they have to be good in this offense. But at the same time, the Lions definitely need to show that they're still the type of a firepower team that can take down a young team that's still looking to get things going. I mean, I drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. I was lucky to draft Jahmyr Gibbs in one of my leagues, but I expect a lot more of that offense, expect a lot out of that defense as well. Let's see if the Lions are in a spot to kind of baby brother the Chicago Bears again, and really just keep the chokehold on the NFC North, if they can really shut down everything that they have going on right now in Chicago. Even though I do have to say I am a Bears fan, I like a lot of what they're doing, and I like them on both sides of the ball, but I definitely don't like them as much as I like the opportunities that the Detroit Lions have right now with that offense and the high-powered defense as well.
What a stinker of a game. Two teams that think they're really good and they're really not. It's going to be like the SpongeBob song when you got SpongeBob working in the chum bucket and Mr. Krabs trying to run the Krusty Krab by himself. That's Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell. I don't think either of them on their own is the right combination. I think that they're going to have a pretty sloppy game here this week. I look for the Lions to get going, I guess, because they have the way better weapons. Maybe you get Jahmyr Gibbs going instead of throwing him 10 passes behind the line of scrimmage. Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Isaac Tesla, David Montgomery. There's so many options there. They should be able to do it. Caleb Williams missing clutch passes, and Ben Johnson, the great mind that he is, joining Matt Eberflus as the only team to give up some fourth quarter leads the way they did I don't think the Bears are anything special. I think Caleb Williams is maybe one of the lesser first-round quarterbacks from his draft classes. He lost to all of them. Give me Jared Goff and that Lions team that was once heralded as one of the best in the league to bounce back this week and get a divisional matchup win at home over the Chicago Bears. Detroit Lions with the points. Yeah, I think that they're not that good of a team. They're going to be on the cusp of the playoffs, but the Bears are clearly the worst team in the NFC North. The Lions are back on track. Tesla getting more opportunities this week too, per Dan Campbell, so that's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, I agree. I think this will be a get-right game for the Lions if I've ever seen one, especially a divisional one at home. Bears, I think, I don't know if I'm ready to overlook them yet. That's a week one with a new head coach, a young quarterback. I'm not the biggest Caleb Williams guy, but I do think that roster kind of, I expect to get going at some point, pick up some wins. I don't know how many. It's going to be interesting to see Ben Johnson going against his old team. So look at maybe what's maybe a couple tricks he might have up his sleeve here. But I look at the Lions minus the 6, and I think they handle business.
Alrighty, boys. Let's keep it moving here through the 1 o'clock slate. Bears and Lions there. But now we have the Seahawks and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Steelers are the favorite here. 3 points for them. Their money line at minus 155. Seahawks at plus 130. Total at 40. Hoping for a good Steelers outing this week, as I will be in attendance, Huff and I. But Huff, you want to get us started on this game?
Yeah, home opener, obviously, coming off a big win at the Jets. I don't think many people were expecting us to have that kind of offensive performance in week one, especially with Rodgers and a lot of new pieces. To the running game, Warren looked pretty good. They weren't using him as much as I expected. Kenneth Gainwell being a huge part of the running game, getting the most snaps or most carries. Warren gets in the end zone. Then Rodgers looked good. He was slinging it all around the field to Skoranek. I liked Metcalf and what he did in his debut, but Jonnu Smith getting in the end zone, and then obviously Jalen Ramsey with the game-sealing hit to jar that off of Garrett Wilson. So I expect the Steelers to keep things rolling here. They're going to be a 3-point favorite. I feel like in every game that they are favorited, just the even 3, they're going to win a lot of those 2 and 1 point games. But I actually think that I'm going to take them minus the 3 this week. I'm not big on the Seahawks team. I don't know what their running game plan is with Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet. I'm not big on either of them. Not big on Darnold. I think he's going to be seeing ghosts this week and hearing Renegade playing in the fourth quarter with the Steelers up big. I'm going to take the Steelers minus the 3.
What do you think's going on with your backfield too, Huff? Like,
I think that's kind of what it's going to be all year. I think Rodgers is big on Gainwell. I think that's why he was kind of in there in that spot. But Warren, obviously, I think is our guy.
Rodgers loves involving those third down pass catching running backs. It's an easy dump off for him. I think that's not a bad mix.
And Gainwell's been good at it throughout his career. He looked good on Sunday doing it.
DK Metcalf looked really good. I'll tell you that. That was probably my favorite Steeler of the day to watch. TJ Watt, obviously, too. But on the offensive side of the wall, I think Jalen Warren's actually pretty solid, too. I would use him a bit more. He's probably your second best player on offense, in my opinion. But the defense looked good. Jalen Ramsey turning back the clock, throwing the boom.
Chirping it. Yeah, fighting out there. You love to see it from him.
I think one of the budding stars is taking place in this game, and he's on the other sideline. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, JSN is absolutely dynamite. Cooper Kupp was pretty quiet last week, so we'll see if he can step up as the wide receiver 2 out there in Seattle. But I think JSN is going to be one of the top receivers in this league very soon, if he isn't already. I already have him in my top 10, but I think he could push for top 5 status after this season, maybe edge out guys like Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown. Outside of that, Zach Charbonnet, he might steal that job from Kenneth Walker too, so that'll be something to watch. A little bit of ground and pound from the Seahawks this week as they look to go against another strong defense after they lost to the Niners last week. I'm not going to take a side on this game. I lean the Seahawks. If they were in Seattle, I'd like it a lot more with the 12th man behind them. But the fact that you have Sam Darnold getting pressure from TJ Watt in that Pittsburgh crowd the whole game, I think it's going to be tough for both teams to put up points. My favorite play is the under this week, which usually results in a Steelers win in Pittsburgh.
Going to be an interesting one there. I'm real excited for it come Sunday, so make sure you stay tuned for our picks on Instagram and Twitter for all the games this week. Let's jump into our final 1 o'clock matchup here. The 49ers and the Saints in New Orleans. The 49ers are the favorite here. 3 points for them. Their money line at minus 165. Saints at plus 140 and the total at 40.5. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is a long shot to play Sunday per coach Kyle Shanahan. Mac Jones now in line to start versus the Saints and potentially beyond. What are your guys' thoughts here on our final 1 o'clock game?
Snooze fest of the week.
But I think that without Purdy and Kittle, those are like 2 of the better players in the league at their position. I'm still taking the Niners. Give me the Niners this week. Spencer Rattler didn't show me enough. They kind of stuck around with the Cardinals, I guess, but the Niners are a better team on paper through and through. Kyle Shanahan's a better coach than whatever they have going down there on the Saints. Chris Olave is hurt again. What else is new? Juwan Johnson looked good, I guess, but Alvin Kamara got in the end zone. But give me the Niners here to win this game. I don't think they're getting enough points either, even with Mac Jones.
I can't even give a pick on this game. The
How
under.
good did Christian McCaffrey look?
He looked good, but
looked
how
great.
good is he going to look with Mac Jones under center when there's no threat of a passing game?
He's an MVP candidate when healthy, in my opinion. The stat line.
Is he healthy?
Yeah. Did you see him last week?
I don't know.
Did you not watch him last week?
Nervous too, Huff. I don't know. He could go down at any time.
Yeah, but did you watch him last week?
You can tie his shoe wrong.
Ride it until the wheels fall off. Let me tell you that. 22 carries, 9 catches for 142 total yards, boys. And he didn't even get in the end zone. So I think he's definitely got to find the end zone this week. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Niners when they got him playing. Because that defense is strong enough, led by Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, to be able to shut down whoever they play.
Do any of the 49ers wide receivers have even a shred of fantasy value this week with Mac
Jones? Kendrick Bourne, that connection he has with Mac Jones. I mean, they brought him off the streets. That's his boy.
Mac Jones, Kendrick Bourne connection. I don't think I'm buying into that.
Mac,
I'm not that down bad in fantasy yet. It's only week 2.
No, but I'll tell you what. Number 23 for the San Francisco 49ers is going to see the ball early and often. And him, and then 54. And what's Joey Bosa? We're 93. You have Joey Bosa, Christian McCaffrey, Fred Warner. There's nowhere
97.
close. There's nowhere close to anybody that good on the other side. The Saints are one of the worst teams in the league. I think they might be worse than the Titans and the Browns. So, Hoss, if you say you think the Saints are going to be in this game, you're almost as bad of a picker as those jerseys they put on last week.
I'd love to see the Saints win this game.
I know, me too, but I don't think they're gonna. There's no way. I'm not believing in Spencer Rattler anytime soon. I'd love to because I love a lot of the guys on the Saints team, but I just can't buy it. I'm not putting anything, not my picks, not my money, not my reputation on Spencer Rattler. I think I'm good on that.
Kamara CMC anytime. No, not Kamara though.
No, but when you think about it too, though, Huff, you know what I'm not thinking about before I was picking this game was the Mac Jones Kendrick Bourne connection. That's gonna be. That's gonna be
that really changes your.
Hey, Hoss, let me tell you this though.
As soon as they brought that
out
up,
your bet, switch sides.
That's a better connection than Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers. They went into Buffalo in that tough environment and won a game, something your Ravens couldn't do to start last week, and that's why Mac Jones has one more win under his belt. As many wins as a starter as Lamar this year. So I've got Mac Jones winning this week. We'll see if Lamar.
You have a jersey? Break out the jersey. Where is it? Do you have it on you?
You know who spent money on that jersey? Me or you?
Yeah, I know. I tried to do something nice. That's the last time I tried to do something nice. That's for sure.
Yeah, you get me a Cam Newton and Mac Jones. The only jersey I spent my money on, Hunter Henry, and he's still with the franchise. So thank you very much. We'll wear it, I guess, maybe. But yeah, Mac Jones is winning this week, so maybe you can borrow it.
Lots of good stuff out of our final 1 o'clock matchup. Let's jump into these 4 o'clock matchups here. The Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals heading to Arizona. Cardinals are the favorite here, 6.5 points for them. The total at 43.5. What are your thoughts on this one, guys? First 4 o'clock game.
I'll keep it brief on this one, but we saw this matchup at the end of last year when Bryce Young was snapping and he beat the Cardinals. But that's also when Kyler Murray downplays his games at the end of the season. Early on, there's no new CODs or anything like that. Marvin Harrison looks great. James Conner's getting in. Travion McBride, if you guys saw that clip, that's what they call him now. They're going to be able to get in the end zone a lot against this Panthers defense. I know J.C. Horn had that nice.
Who wasn't that called him that?
Greg Dortch, the receiver.
Yeah, Travion McBride. That was funny.
Yeah, so with their offense rolling like that, Kyler being multidimensional and playing hot at the beginning of the season like he always does, I think he's going to find Marvin Harrison and James Conner for another big day between those two end zone finders, and they're going to be able to get the job done. Another lighter matchup for the Cardinals defense. Bryce Young, I hope your breakout comes. I don't think it comes this week, though. Give me the Cards.
I have a weird feeling about this one. I like the Panthers +6, I think. I don't know why.
They beat the Cards last year.
Yeah, and obviously Cardinals coming off a win, Panthers coming off a loss, a game they didn't look good. I think you're kind of buying low on the Panthers here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them stick around and cover a number here.
Panthers to cover. So what's the big fantasy story in this game, you guys think? Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner,
Marvin Harrison Jr. are going to continue to eat. I'll tell you that. Yeah,
I was going to say, give me a Tet for his first touchdown of the year.
Chuba looked good. He got in again.
I like him. I like Bryce. I'd like to see Bryce do good.
I think Bryce Young might throw a pick, though. I don't know why.
I like the Panthers. I lean on the Panthers plus 6.5. I could switch
I
sides on
think
this one
last
very
year-
easily, but
Last year, this is when Bryce Young was in his form when he went off against the Cardinals team to end the season, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said before, it's early season Kyler Murray. He's strike while the pan's hot.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. And I like a lot of this Cardinals team, too. I mean, I have a lot of them in fantasy, so I don't know why I bought so high on them. But, I mean, Kyler Murray's does it
James
well.
Conner's good.
Plays on the
I can
feet.
agree to that. How good has that guy been? You guys probably have a lot of respect for him. He played for your Steelers. He played for Pittsburgh, overcoming the cancer and whatnot. I mean, he's a good running back. He's been doing it for so long, and he can catch the ball, run the ball, does everything, gets in the end zone. Trey Benson, he's getting some carries too, and he's a good running back out of FSU as well. So
He's owned a lot. He's owned in a lot of leagues, too, Trey Benson. He gets the ball a lot. That snap share is crazy.
no, he was good. Huff
Yeah.
follows college football tight. How good was Trey Benson when he was the main running back?
what'd you say? Trey Benson?
Yeah, FSU.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he getting touches in Arizona? Like I know James.
I think he got
James like
10
the main
12
guy, but
last week.
Yeah, I think it was pretty even.
I can't say I watched much of that Cardinals Saints.
But
game
Connor
tonight.
gets in the end zone. I'll tell you that. It's
Yeah,
hard to
okay.
keep him on the bench. He's so big. He gets in.
Yeah.
But Trey Benson has that speed and skill. I think, Huff, here's his stat line for last week. 8 rushes, 70 yards. Like, that's
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah.
What was James
What-
Conner?
Had-
I did not know that. That's
What
definitely.
was James Conner? He broke
James
it. You know,
Conner.
yeah, didn't. What was his long, too, though, Alex? I think Trey Benson broke one.
Probably
So he had an
50.
RJ Harvey type there. That's all right, though, because James Conner went 12 for 39, 4 catches for 5 yards. Yeah, he got in the end zone, but very pedestrian yards per carry at 3.3. I mean, I like the upside of Trey Benson. I think you got to keep them both in, but down the line, whenever Connor's on his way out or hangs him up or whatnot, then I think Trey Benson will fill in nicely.
Alrighty, let's keep it moving here through these 4 o'clock games. The Broncos and the Colts here next in Indianapolis. The Colts are the favorite, though. 1.5 points for them, but their money line at minus 125. The Colts at plus 105. And the total for this matchup at 42.5. Who wants to get us going on this one?
Huff,
I
floor
like
is
the
yours.
I like the under here, 42.5. I think the Broncos defense obviously played a pretty decent game. A lot of people have high expectations for them this year, going up against what we expect to be a weak Titans team in week 1. And then this Colts team, this was my game of the week last week. Mortal Lock is an underdog week 1. Come out swinging. They wiped the Miami Dolphins. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him. I said this Colts team is going to be pretty pesky this year. Look for that to continue. They could steal this one here as well at home. I'm going to take the under, though, 42.5. I think the Colts have a lot better of a defense than people are giving them credit for. I think they could frustrate Bo Nix in this young Broncos offense. I'm going to take the under 42.5.
Huff loves the Indianapolis Colts. Are they good, or was it just that must-win game for the owner?
I think we're going to see this week. Broncos have some high
I
expectations.
don't think the
from people.
Broncos are good.
A lot of people have expectations. From, you're the first person that I think have said the
I
Broncos
know.
aren't
I
gonna
don't
be
think
this
they're
year.
good. I don't think they're good.
They have a good roster. I almost said great there. It's not great. They have a great defense and a good offense.
I don't think their offense is very good. I really don't. I still have to see it from RJ Harvey. J.K. Dobbins is okay.
Great defense, great offensive line, young, promising quarterback, good receiver in Cortland Sutton.
Who else?
Obviously, the
behind
running backs in
Cortland Sutton?
Harvey. I wish they wouldn't have got rid of Javonte Williams. I like him. That's why
Me
I took
too.
him in that bet
Harvey
down
looks
in Dallas. But
Harvey looks good. So does Dobbins. That's a good tandem. Like the upside of Harvey's there, and Cortland Sutton's great, but who's behind him? No tight end, no receiver. I don't trust anybody else outside.
Yeah,
of that.
exactly.
I don't know. They didn't do it definitely damn near enough against the Titans for me to have any more confidence. I think my confidence went down even more than it was. I know they won the football
That's
game.
week 1 though with a young quarterback.
This Colts team though, maybe Daniel Jones all eventually. We saw Sam
This is the
Darnold
best
get
roster he's had.
Sam Darnold got laughed out of New York, the Meadowlands, whatever you want to call it. Daniel Jones got laughed out of the Meadowlands. Finally gets his chance. He was a backup for a year in Minnesota, kind of like Sam Darnold was in Carolina. Imagine he plays up to a big contract and has a winning season in a very light division. I don't think – is this game in Denver?
No, in Indianapolis. Another home and home. They're home week 1, home again in week 2.
I don't know. If this is in Denver, I'd say give me the Broncos here. I'm going to stay away. I got to see another week of this
Dude, they're
Indianapolis
getting
Colts
1
team.
point at home. Like,
Yeah, I got to see what this Indianapolis Colts team's showing me. I don't know what to believe yet. Daniel Jones, I can't trust. I don't know. That Broncos defense is definitely
yeah, but
scary.
I feel the same way. I'm taking the under. I'm going to avoid a side here.
Jonathan Taylor, though, maybe he could be the difference
That's
maker.
funny. After week one, I feel like that whole time I was watching the scoreboard, I wasn't watching too much of that game, but the whole time I kept seeing the points go up. I was like, there he is, the Huff Colts. They're rolling right now. Huff
They were
Colts.
rolling every time you looked at the game. They had the ball.
Holy shit, the Huff Colts. That was crazy, but no,
For
that
Jim
team,
Irsay, dude, I said they were gonna win it. The roof was open. Jim was
It
watching.
wasn't even close.
I know. I was like, damn, okay, Huff. I don't know. I was shocked when you had that for your pick. It was funny when listening to the podcast, but yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily buy into anything that the Colts have going on right now. I don't think it's
Jonathan
sustainable.
Tyler Warren, how good is he?
He looks
Warren,
good.
Taylor, I like their
Pittman
receivers.
Jr. The receivers are very slept on. Pittman Jr. I've always thought was good, but he doesn't get any respect.
And I like Pierce as a 2. I wanted my Steelers
Josh
to go get him.
Downs, yeah. That's
I
how
like
I
Mitchell.
like Daniel Jones has some options. Like I said, better roster than he's ever played with the Giants.
Yeah,
Which is
don't
crazy to
give
say,
Daniel
it's not
Jones any weapons. That's for sure.
Don't let Daniel Jones get hot. He could have a Sam Darnold type year, though, but we'll see.
He
He's
was
very
running
talented.
around 2 rushing
Well,
tugs.
were the Dolphins that bad?
Dude, I don't know. They have some pieces. How are the Dolphins just like totally? Everyone's writing them off for 0-17.
No, it's the head coach. It's the head coach. That's
Yeah.
why you have locker room problems. You have quarterback issues. It's everybody that's in an important position is questionable. Mike McDaniels, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill are the biggest 3 question marks on their team. Everybody else is pretty good. Defense isn't great, but I mean, when your 3 key pieces are the question marks of like, are they right for our team? I don't think you have success.
Yeah, but you think about it too, though. Like, it's just the dysfunction is just so bad that it's like I really think when the highs are high, they're really high. Like I said, they're capable of putting up 50 points when they want to, or when they're all clicking.
They
But at
can't
the
handle
same time,
adversity. They can't handle the cold weather. They
when
can't
it
handle
gets tough,
adversity.
yeah, when it gets tough and you got to lean on those guys, like you said, Alex. Like, do you really want to be leaning on the back of Tua Tagovailoa? Do you want to be leaning on the back of Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane?
Well,
Like,
Mike McDaniel leading you in a
Yeah.
game, he's not hyping you up. And I'll tell you what, they've never faced adversity this early in the season because the spotlight is on this team after getting walloped, and I don't think they're going to respond well. We already talked about that, but yeah, this Colts Broncos game should be pretty interesting. It's going to be telling, like Huff said. You're going to learn a lot here.
Heck yeah, boys. Let's keep it going here. 4-25 in this matchup. Eagles and Chiefs. Chiefs at home in this one, but the Eagles the favorite. Just 1 point for them. -115 on the money line for the Eagles. -105 for the Chiefs. Total at 47. What are our thoughts here on our final 4 o'clock game for today, Huff?
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid a side in this one as well. I like the over. I think this will be a high scoring kind of back and forth. The Chiefs are looking to get back at this Eagles team. Obviously, Eagles got the last laugh in the Super Bowl last year. Only -115 on the road. I think this is the lowest price you'll see the Eagles at all year. But going up against a Chiefs team that a lot of people have lost expectations for, have low expectations for this year. They kind of proved that for some people in week 1. Could this team start 0-2? What would that mean for them, especially because we all like Buffalo to start 2-0. We like Baltimore to get back some of those big dogs in the AFC. Could the Chiefs start 0-2, and what would that mean for them? I think it's going to be a back and forth scoring game. Give me the over 47. I think we could see someone get in the 30s. Both teams put up maybe 24.
Pick a side. Gun to your head. Pick a side.
I'd probably say Eagles.
Yeah, I know, and that's so tough because, like, I'm like, oh, this is such a terrible spot. I really could see the Chiefs starting 0-2. There's nothing trending in the right direction with the injuries to, well, Rashee Rice suspended, injury to Xavier Worthy. The run game was stuck in the mud with Pacheco and Hunt. You just played a really good divisional opponent and Chargers team that's soaring right now with Madison Beer leading the way at quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that this is an even tougher spot now. I know you're not playing in Brazil, so lights aren't as bright, but you're playing the defending champions who just got blown out by. If there's any team that can respond to it, it's going to be the Chiefs dynasty. I'm going to take the Chiefs here blindly, and it's all going to be on the back of number 15. He looked really good last week. Defense looked pretty solid too. I think they're going to somehow, some way, figure out a way to beat this Eagles team that they had 0 answers for last year. Don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to. Give me the Chiefs here on the money line.
Wow. I mean, I knew that was coming. I think you guys all did too. Alex is such a big Chiefs
are good.
Mahomes guy. I mean, especially at home too. This game's that's big that it's in Arrowhead. I think that really helps
Taylor
out.
Swift's going to be there.
Oh, she's definitely going to be there.
Yeah,
But
it's America's game of the week.
The biggest piece you mentioned a lot of names. The one you didn't really mention is Saquon Barkley. Like, that's the guy that pushes
Brown,
the needle for me.
squeaky wheel.
No, it's not even that. I really think it's just Saquon Barkley is going to be the focal point of the offense, just like he always is, and then everything will kind of fall into place after that. I heard they were kind of looking to move Cooper DeJean to the outside too, which is going to be tough for those Chiefs receivers. But I really think that the Eagles are going to handle business in Arrowhead and 1 o'clock
You think it's
slate.
going to look like the Super Bowl again?
No, but I think if this game was at 8 o'clock,
it's at 4:25, America's Game of the Week. I think Tom Brady's on the call.
yeah, but I think if it was at
Or is
like
it Tony
8:30, you had like a if you
Tom
had like an
Brady.
8:30 Sunday night game for this one, I think I'd have a little bit more confidence in the Chiefs. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like the Eagles in this
I don't know.
spot.
I'm avoiding a side here. I think it's high scoring both ways. I think
Do you
this could
think
be
that?
one.
Do you guys think the Chiefs can match? What is it going to look like the Super Bowl, or do the Chiefs have answers this time?
I think the Chiefs. I think one of these teams put up 30, and the
What's
other one
the
I could see in
answer?
the 20s.
What's the answer? Keep Mahomes on the field the entire game? Like
No, not turn the ball over. Contain these weapons on the
so
outside.
what running? You
get the
literally said that
pressure.
running game got stymied by the Chargers. You don't think that's going to happen again against Philly? Like that?
Oh, I
that
think-
defense is really good.
I told you, I like this is a biased pick here. I don't know. You haven't seen Mahomes go 0-2, but Brady did it. I think they could go 0-2 here and then have to climb uphill to find their way back in the playoffs. Maybe they need to face adversity.
I
The
would
fact
love
that
that.
they're at home in this game, they're at the Chiefs' Kingdom. It's one of the best home spots in the league. Chris Jones is pretty disruptive last week. That's your answer to your Saquon Barkley question. So I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be a good football game. Another tough one for the Chiefs, though. We'll see. Is Jalen Hurts that good? Is Patrick
Where's your
Mahomes
fantasy
still the
value
man?
in this game, Alex?
Oh, all on the oof. I think AJ Brown gets a squeaky wheel treatment. I do. I think he's a tough matchup for those.
What do you think
Chiefs.
for a stat line on him?
I
Maybe
could
just
see
had to off the cuff.
five-
What do you think?
5 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown for AJ Brown.
Oh, you think he gets in? Okay.
Yeah,
That
I
was
think
exactly what I told my cousin he was going to get in week 1, and because he was asking me who do I start, AJ Brown or Jalen Warren. I told him leave AJ Brown in, and then I was like, he'll get at least like 5 catches, 80 yards, maybe a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a good AJ Brown day though.
Yeah, that's like such an AJ Brown stat line too.
Catches 80 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I think that's what he does against this Chiefs defense. I think he's too much for them to handle. I think they have pretty good
5
grasp on
catches,
Devontae
80 yards and a touchdown is too much to handle.
I think so. I don't think there's that many points in this game. There's 2 really good defenses, and they're going to
Yeah.
play.
What do you
close to
think
the
for a
best.
score in this one, Alex? What do you have?
Oof! If the Chiefs win this game, it's going to be on the foot of Harrison Butker at the end.
31-27.
19-17 Chiefs.
Wow. Oof. Barn burner in Chiefs Kingdom. Jeez.
I like a low-scoring game here this week in that one.
Wow. And the Chiefs come out on top. That'd be something.
Yep, we'll see.
Already shifting to Sunday Night Football here. Falcons and Vikings in Minnesota. The Vikings the favorite here, 3.5 points. The total sitting at 44.5 in this one. What do we think is going to happen in Sunday Night Football here this week, Ace?
Yeah, cool matchup here. At the beginning of the pod, we were talking about who's better, J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix. They both showed us a lot. They both had clutch genes. I know that Penix has fell up a little short, but they both ran into the end zone for a clutch fourth quarter touchdown in their first full year as a starter on each guy. They have weapons, the both of them. They have Bijan Robinson, arguably the best running back, Justin Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver. Playing with them, they have some good options in the backfield all around. So I expect both these quarterbacks to have some highs and to have some lows. I think I could see them both throw an interception, but I could see them both also score 2+ touchdowns. I think I'm going to take the home team in the Skull and the Vikings. You know who is very underrated is Andrew Van Ginkel. I think he's actually one of the biggest game changers in the league right now. He's all over the place, making everything happen. I don't know if you guys saw him drop that pick 6 last week. It should have been in. But Vikings have more weapons. Kevin O'Connell, I think he figured out the secret sauce, and he got past a divisional opponent. Meanwhile, those hungry Falcons are going to be looking for a win here. But again, another tough match against another reigning playoff team. So, yeah, give me the Vikings in a tight one here. Win a one-score game.
I'll keep it quick here. I could see this game go either way. Right now, for my app, for my pick, I have the Falcons plus 3.5 clicked, but I could definitely switch and talk myself into the Vikings at home. Their home opener, coming off a huge comeback win on Monday Night Football against, like you said, a divisional opponent. This is going to be a very tough game. I'm looking forward to this for all the reasons that you said. 2 young quarterbacks going at it. Another primetime game for McCarthy and this Vikings team, so it's going to be interesting to see here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of the same thing that we said. It's a lot of great a lot of great things that you can look forward to in this game. High flying offenses, a lot of big key pieces. So you're going to see some pretty cool plays on both sides of the ball. But I mean, I really like the Vikings defense. And this is another one where I think if this game was in Atlanta, I'd probably feel a little bit more confident in the Falcons. Not that I don't like the Falcons. I really like Michael Penix. I like a lot of what they have going on there. But since this game is in Minnesota, I did a really big spot. I just don't see them losing this game. Give me the Vikings with the points.
I think Kevin O'Connell is a good coach. I think they're good. It was a good take. You said we're going to see some cool plays out of these teams. I think it's going to be highs and lows though. But I think the better defense goes to Minnesota, and that's why I'm winning.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I really like that.
Will Riker looking like Chris Boswell too. He booted a 59-yarder. I mean, it's nice to have a good kicker. Meanwhile, Young Ho Koo, who's very accurate but doesn't have a big leg, that could be an important piece of this team too. Especially the young quarterback that can't always get you deep in the field goal range. You got to be able to hit those boomers. We saw that with Minnesota. We saw that with the Texans and the Steelers. Some good kickers
doesn't Drake London have the Q tag this week too, Alex?
Yeah, he could be out for somewhere up to 2 weeks with that type of injury. I believe it's for his foot, but there's been past guys that have been able to recover, receive like a shot or something.
Yeah, does that move the needle for you if he doesn't play?
Oh, definitely. He's the best receiver on their team. I know people talk about Kyle Pitts coming to life. I guess Bijan's the best pure receiver, but Drake London's the best target that Michael Penix has. Without him,
yeah, that's the one thing I was going to say is that's a big if for me on this game.
I think the field shrinks a lot and a lot more attention goes to Bijan Robinson, which makes his day sledding a lot harder, and you need him to be cooking to be in this game.
Who steps up for the Falcons then? If in Drake London's absence, do you expect a lot of Kyle Pitts?
Nobody.
Darnell Mooney? No, nothing.
Darnell Mooney was inactive last week. That'd be massive if they could get him back as a secondary option. They miss London, but with him inactive last week too, and him questionable once again, they definitely don't have enough without London and even Mooney.
Alrighty, boys. That's everything for Sunday Night Football here. 2 Monday Night Football games here. 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. First one at 7 o'clock. Bucks and Texans in Houston. Houston, the favorite here. 2.5 points for them. Their money line at -145. Bucks at +120 in the total, sitting at 42.5. Huff, get us started on this first Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, I'll start us out here. I like the Texans at home to come back home, get their home opener in the prime time. I picked them last week going against the Rams. I can't talk in SoFi. They lost a tough one. They couldn't handle Nakua and the boys over there in LA, but I like them to come home here, beat this Buccaneers team that we are big on. They're getting points on the road in the prime time. I'm going to take the Texans, and they're kind of I consider pretty damn good defense. I look for Nico Collins to have a good day after not having a great week 1 game. CJ Stroud to get one back. This is going to be a big one. I think Houston handles business at home minus the 2.5.
Ace, Haas, what do you guys think?
I've got the Bucks on the money line here. I don't think the Texans have shown me anything. CJ Stroud couldn't move the ball vertically at all. Christian Kirk's injured, so now it's Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins, who I like the two of them, but he couldn't find them at all last week. The running game's non-existent without Joe Mixon. He was the heart and soul of their offense last year, especially when all the receivers were down. So without a true running game, I don't think they are able to get the ball to Nico and Jaden because they're covered up so much. And Jaden Higgins leading the team in targets was crazy, so expect the Nico Collins squeaky wheel treatment. Still trying out Dalton Schultz at tight end too, and he's a solid tight end too at this point, but he's like Mark Andrews. He's past his prime. He's a little bit slower now. I'd like to see some more speed, especially with a lack of receiving options. The Texans' defense is solid. Their kicking game solid. That's why they were in the game last week with a lot of points that way. But the Buccaneers can score in the blink of an eye, and their defense can step up when it needs to. Emeka Egbuka stepping up. We didn't even have to see much from Mike Evans, and they were able to throw to passing touchdowns. Baker's a top quarterback. Bucky Irving looks strong and found in the end zone. Give me that team to win once again. Bucks as underdogs is crazy to me. Love that value. Definitely carding that.
Yeah, I agree with that too, honestly, Alex. And I really like this Buccaneers team. They just have a lot of great pieces on both sides of the ball. I really believe a lot more in the current status of the Buccaneers offense, particularly. I mean, I think this is going to be a big week for Mike Evans. I mean, he had a pretty decent week fantasy-wise week 1, but I definitely think week 2 is going to be another big game for Baker Mayfield in the air. I think he's going to get Mike Evans involved a little bit more than he was able to in week 1. Not that I don't like the Texans defense. I'm a really big believer in them as well. It's just this Bucs team can beat you in a lot of different ways, and I really think Baker Mayfield's going to take it to a team that really has a lot of different question marks right now. So while they're figuring things out, I think it's going to be more to a team that I can look to and physically point to the ways that I think they're going to beat them. So give me the Bucs over the Texans. Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbuka, unbelievable talent. Mike Evans, Bucky Irving, all those reasons he said. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch Monday Night Football.
Heck yeah, boy, it's going to be an electric. I think that's going to be the better of the two Monday Night Football games. Let's jump into the second one here. Chargers and Raiders in Vegas. Chargers are the favorite here. 3.5 points for them. Their money line -190. The Raiders at +155. The total 46.5. What do we think about this second Monday Night Football game this week?
I think Brock Bowers has to play. If he's got the Q tag right now, and I hate that he's questionable because I'm going to
I
get
don't think he's going to
screwed.
play.
Yeah, but I'm going to get screwed, and it's going to be all the way up until game time, and I'm going to have to pick up hopefully Michael Mayer if he's out there. But I think a lot of people are going to be in the same boat. If you're able to maybe drop somebody on your bench, pick up a different tight end, you might want to do that just because he's been questionable all week, and I don't think he's trending in the right direction either. I don't necessarily see them calling him out before Sunday's 1:00 slate, so definitely tread lightly with that. I really like a lot of what we saw with this Chargers offense. I think we were watching that game together, Alex. We were a lot of high praise for Marion Hampton, unbelievable runner with the ball. Honestly, he ran a lot more than what I expected. He looked a lot more of what I expected Ashton Genty to look like coming out the gate. And I think this offense is in a little bit better of a spot than the Vegas team, especially with Brock Bowers getting that Q tag. But it's going to be a fun one again. I mean, I love when we get spoiled with these multiple games on Monday Night Football, but definitely going to go with the Chargers in this one.
Yeah, crazy. I think this is going to be a blowout here. The fact that the Chargers are only giving 3.5 points is crazy to me. I think they're a much better team than the Vegas Raiders. The Vegas Raiders, it's just a Pete Carroll streak where they stay undefeated in his opening games. The Patriots are a young team that played awful and doesn't have much skill on the offensive side of the ball. And then you get one of the best receiving rooms in the league. Keenan Allen looked like an absolute dog. Quentin Johnson stepping up. Trey Harris doesn't even have to play that much. Well, Ladd McConkey's a top 10 receiver in the league, potentially better than JSN. You have Hampton and Najee. It's a great duo. Will Dissly looks strong. They feature a fullback too, and Justin Herbert, I think, is on his ascent to being a top 7, top 5 quarterback in this league. Their defense is strong. Their O-line strong. A great head coach and a strong veteran offensive coordinator going against this Raiders team that's very unmatched. Ashton Genty was shut down by the Patriots. I think he might get shut down even more by the Chargers. As Brock Bowers is down, I don't think they have any answers on offense. And Justin Herbert will be cleaner with the football than Drake May was. He threw for 287, a career high against them last week. Imagine what Justin Herbert could do with these weapons. The Chargers are going to roll in this one and get to 2-0.
It's funny you mentioned it too, Alex. You remember that fullback? Have you seen this guy? The fullback for the Chargers? That guy's an absolute wall running.
No, I have not.
Look this guy up right now. Like, look up a picture of this guy. Every time Omarion Hampton had the ball, you just see this wrecking ball come and just clear the way. I feel like I could be an effective running back behind this guy. I mean, we have an unbelievable one in Pat Ricard, and obviously he was a big miss last week. But the fullback position getting revitalized with these big men who run around. This guy, I think he's like, what is he, Alex? He's like, didn't they say he was like 300 pounds? Massive running around. You're going to see him when you watch the game on Monday Night Football. Watch out for this guy. This fullback's going to be clearing the way, and he is unbelievable at it.
If Brock Bowers plays, I lean on the Raiders plus the 3.5 points. Divisional dog at
Crazy.
home.
That's wild.
I think this is I'm going to sell a little bit here on the Chargers. I think they slip up a divisional game here. Raiders, I could be wrong. I feel like historically kind of little brother this Chargers team. They slip up in some of these games. I look for the Raiders to play a big game on Monday Night Football at home. Raiders usually step up in these primetime games. Geno, I liked what I saw from him in week 1 there in New England. Another week with him in that offense. If Brock Bowers plays another week with Genty, it looked like that was a little bit much for him in week 1. I look for him to get back, have a pretty good game, get in the end zone again here. I like the Raiders plus the 3.5 points right now.
That's crazy. So give me a stat line. Like who does it? Like how do they win this game?
You need it from Geno. They're gonna have to hang in the game. I think it's a high scoring game.
You think he's gonna be chucking?
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be.
So who has a day then? Even with if say Brock Bowers is out, who do you think is gonna get it done for him?
He likes Trey. Well, if Brock Bowers is out, I don't know how much I'm gonna be taking this, but he liked Trey Tucker early in that game against New England. Obviously, some of the other pieces, I'd like Meyer to step in, maybe be a bigger piece. I'm not big on him, but Genty, I think, is going to be the main piece. If they have a day, I think you need to get him going on the ground.
Did Jacoby Myers going a little bit too?
Yeah.
They're not going to. Did you not see how great the corners looked for the Chargers last week too?
I know. That's the thing because I like the Raiders and I want them to be good. I think
the Chargers are going to be feared as one of the best teams in the league, especially after they blow out the Raiders this week. I think they're coming to happen
as one of the best teams in the league.
Especially as you guys are going to see, you both predict the Chiefs to lose, and watch the Chargers have another big game here this week. And,
Well, everybody's going to, because it's so easy to buy into the Justin Herbert show.
yeah, the Harbaugh show, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It
Really well
changed the
coached
culture
team.
of this team. Huff and I
Yeah.
already agree that Herbert's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's just showing
Is
We've
it.
been saying that for
is-
years. It just
Is
finally
Rashawn
is coming to
Slater still out
fruition.
too, Alex? Is he going to be
Yeah,
out this week?
Well, who tore? Yeah, he tore his ACL in camp before the season started.
It was the ACL. I forgot if he tore his ACL, if he was just out for a few weeks. So he's done for the year.
Yeah.
But that's why you still got Joe Alt, though. And I think, honestly, the O-line's actually pretty
The
decent.
weapons for Justin Herbert are insane.
I know, and they all look so good. Like, so good.
Yeah.
I think these are both going to be 2 good Monday night games.
Interesting. I see a blowout. I like the 2 road teams, but we'll see. Being at home helps, especially in the prime time.
Alrighty, boys. That's all we got in week 2. Lots to look forward to in NFL week 2. Make sure you stay tuned for our picks on Instagram and Twitter for all the games here Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. Let's jump into the MLB here real quickly with our power rankings. Coming in at number 5, we have the New York Yankees. Number 4, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 3, the Chicago Cubs. Number 2, the Milwaukee Brewers. And number 1, the Philadelphia Phillies. Ace, what are we thinking about our power rankings here for this week?
My Boston Red Sox should be in the mix. They just dropped a game today, but they are in the mix. They're right there outside the top 5. We put the Yankees in there at the top 5 over the Toronto Blue Jays, who have one of the best records in the league. I believe the best in the AL and leading the AL East. But the Yankees have played themselves into a wild card spot alongside the Red Sox. Those teams, I think, are going to be there. And then in the NL, look at those Brewers still staying up there. The Phillies are fighting strong. Mets kind of folded off a little bit. The Dodgers are holding on to that top spot. The Padres are on their heels. In the wild card race too. I mean, that third wild card spot's heating up in the AL as the Mariners hold that top spot with the Rangers, who are catching their tail. And oh yeah, that AL West is tight overall in general. The Houston Astros only have a game lead on the Rangers and the Mariners too, so that's gonna be a fun one to follow. Along with the AL wild card race, the AL East could tighten up a little bit. Meanwhile, the Tigers dominate that top spot in the AL Central. NL side, I think the Phillies have it locked up. The Mets are fighting to keep a playoff spot. Imagine Mackey's Mets drop out of the playoffs with all the expectations they had. Meanwhile, the Cubs are staying strong. I think they're one of the best teams in baseball as well. They're easily going to win their division. And the Padres are right there in the mix as well. So some of these bubble teams are going to be interesting. It kind of reminds me of a NHL playoff race now with the amount of teams that are in the hunt in the wild card for the MLB. So it's going to be fun to follow. A crazy stat line that happened last week. What about the Dodgers blowing 2 no-hitters in a row, back-to-back nights in the 9th inning? Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And I forget who the other guy that started was that threw him. Maybe it was Snell or Glasnow or something crazy like that. But they blew him in the 9th inning and ended up losing the game outright on a little bit of a skid, losing to some of the worst teams. But your boy Skeens is tearing it up for the Pirates, even though they're way out of it. And he just got another no decision tonight, but pitched shutout baseball. Just a crazy stat to see. There's a lot going on. So the league's definitely getting there to the playoff race. A lot of people still hitting home runs, but I'm eager to see who ends up making the playoffs. That's going to be the big thing.
Yeah, about 2 weeks left, 3 weeks left. I can't wait for playoff baseball. I love playoff baseball.
What do you think? Red Sox, Yankees up 3.5 games. Red Sox up 3. Mariners at flat for that last playoff wild card spot. Rangers 1 game back of the Mariners. Cleveland 3 games back of the Mariners. Kansas City 3.5. On the other side, we have the Mets occupying the last spot with San Francisco and Cincinnati only a few games out. I mean, I don't think either of those teams ever passed the New York Mets, but it'd be funny to see New York choke.
I just looked at the Mariners schedule. I think the AL stays put. Yankees, Sox, Mariners.
I think that the Mariners could jump the Astros. They're 1 game back.
Sure, and then I would say the Astros. You know what
stay
I mean?
in. But the Rangers, I mean, they're a game back too. That it's going to be an AL West.
Mets losing
occupying the
another
first.
one tonight to the Phillies.
That's hilarious. I'd love to see this Mets team losing. For those of you that didn't follow from the beginning of the year,
Didn't Mackey text us like 3 weeks ago and be like, no matter what the Mets are, we always own the Phillies. They're going to lose 3 straight to them.
yeah, he doesn't really know. He's just a delusional Mets fan that's just begging for greatness. He told me, I want to get in on that bet that you and Hoff had with the best record. Now he's already looking to go double or nothing with how far the playoffs go. Mac, you got to get there first, buddy. When you hear this one, I'll be collecting my $20 or $40, whatever you want it to be. We'll make it happen.
Heck yeah, boys. Lots of good stuff out of the MLB. Let's jump over to the NHL here. Kirill Kaprizov wants something more, even if no one is entirely sure what that means. The Wild's forward reportedly turned down an 8-year, $128 million contract extension from Minnesota, a deal that would be the richest in NHL history in both total money and average annual value at $16 million a year. It would have surpassed Kaprizov's countryman Alex Ovechkin's 13-year, $124 million deal signed in 2008. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Anything?
Yeah, I think he wants to get to a bigger market. That's what he means when he wants more.
Yeah, I would think the same thing. It's crazy to turn down that kind of money, but I mean, clearly
Maybe he
has
wants to
a
play with better people too. People are talking
yeah,
about Connor McDavid leaving. He gets to play with Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard and a lot of other skilled guys. Who does Kirill Kaprizov play with? I know you have Matt Boldy, and
yeah. No other star.
they have a lot of good secondary players, but he probably wants to go play on one of the coasts and do something.
Tampa Bay with Cooch.
Yeah, or he could go to a big market. I mean, the Rangers, something like that.
Yeah, never know. All right, we got one more signing here. Dustin Wolf signed a 7-year, $52.5 million contract with the Calgary Flames on Tuesday. Contract, which starts in 26-27, has an average annual value of $7.5 million. The 24-year-old goalie is entering the final year of his 2-year contract he signed on July 30th, 2024. Could have been a restricted free agent on July 1st, 2026, so the end of next season. But now has his contract extension. Any thoughts on this one? A good signing here for the Flames.
Yeah, I think Dustin Wolf's going to be one of the best goalies in the league. So I think getting him at 7.25, 7.5, whatever it is a crazy price. We just played Swayman a nice little bag, but Dustin Wolf that young and already that good, that's a good contract to sign. They don't pay anybody else really out there in Calgary. So kudos to them for developing him and letting him get his shot to really earn that starting role. Expect him to make some waves. He was in that Calder race last year, but obviously Macklin took it.
All righty. I think that's going to wrap up everything we have for this week, episode 2, week 2 of the NFL, week 3 of the college football world. Lots to look forward to as we approach these games here this weekend. Anything else to add before we get on out of here, guys?
Not excited for week 2.
Yeah, week 2. Make sure you're staying tuned for all of our picks. Week 3 in college football. Obviously, I'll get any official plays I take out on that golf tournament out there. We have the Pro Court Championship this weekend. Not normally a big one, but Scotty and all the boys are playing. So we'll be watching good NFL slate on Sunday, college football Saturday, backyard brawl. Got to get looking for the Mountaineers to steal a win. I don't love their chances in Morgantown on Saturday, but we'll see what happens here. Stay tuned on HitTheBooks.pod. We'll get all of our plays out.
All right. See you guys next time. Thanks for coming.